Hello and welcome back to the RV vlog there, friends. So, we've checked out of Elk Falls Provincial Park here today, just north of Campbell River on Vancouver Island. And we are now going to a provincial park we've never been to here before on Vancouver Island. We're going to go to Loveland Bay Provincial Park. Sounds like a lovey-dovey kind of place. It looks really cool because we have a campsite on the water. I think it's just going to be a bit of a kind of sketchy dirt road to get out there maybe. So, hopefully it's going to work out well here. We're in the Walmart parking lot of Campbell River right now. We're running the generator to get topped up a little bit so we don't pull in with empty batteries to a new park at least. We also grabbed some groceries, all of that good stuff here, and I've got a really nice spot pulled in that we can pull out of and not get blocked. We have our slide out. We thought we might do some editing here, but we're gonna save that for the campground in the end. And we've even got the awning out a bit just over the parking stall so the sun doesn't shine right on our fridge wall and window, because we are sitting at 87 Fahrenheit inside here, which I think is just over 30 degrees Celsius, and it's super muggy and humid being by the ocean here. So hopefully it's a little bit cooler by the lake. We gotta drive to get there. Now let's see how that forest road treats us. Let's go. Okay, just outside of town here now. Looks like a pretty cool forest. All the moss on the trees, kind of a unique area. It's dirt road. We're only like, I think 10 kilometers out from the campground of just a slow, easy pace. So I'm gonna take off our weight distribution bars, or our sway bars there. Won't be needing them. Won't be any wind, won't be any highway traffic. So save a little extra wear and tear and a little bumping on the bars. And then we should be able to back in even easier. No sway bars or nothing. So I'm gonna pull those bad boys off there. Then we're checking into lakefront camping. Should be awesome, I think. Hopefully it is.
Not a terrible Forest Service road, but it's definitely been spinning around our tire pressure monitor. Alright, so quite possibly the trickiest site that we have to ever back into yet with our travel trailer. It's like on a steep bank going down towards the lake, and the roads here are really narrow, so there's not a lot of swing room for the front of the truck. But let's see how we do. So watching this video back, like, I'm not trying to make excuses, but it doesn't look as hard to back into as it actually was and how it actually looked in real life. The hill that we're backing down is a lot steeper than it looks, and it's at a really weird angle. I'm just gonna start off by saying I'm not exactly proud of our technique here, and I'm sure we could have done a lot better. We made a lot of mistakes, and you know, if we were professionals, it wouldn't have been this hard, I'm sure. But to be fair, we have backed in a lot this summer, and I think we do have quite a bit of experience. Again, we made mistakes, but it actually was a very difficult back-in for us. So maybe the first thing you'll notice in this video is that we had no cell phone service and no way to communicate with each other. We don't have any radios or anything like that, so I'm running back and forth to the window to talk to Luke to try and give him direction, because when you're backing in at this hard of an angle, it's sometimes hard to see exactly where the trailer's going, where both bumpers are going at the same time, and also see the mirror and be able to see Luke in the mirror to give him directions. So yeah, there's a lot of running back and forth here. I think the biggest thing that made this such a difficult back-in was the road that we drove on was a one-way road, so it was very narrow. Honestly, driving down with just the truck and trailer going one way was very tight on the road. So when you have to back into a campsite, it's more difficult because you don't have as much swing room, as much, you know, forgiveness area for the front of your truck and things like that. But to make matters worse, this campsite wasn't situated where it's kind of like a 45-degree back-in. It was like a straight 90-degree back-in from a very narrow road, which proved to be very difficult. There was also some rocks that we were having to dodge. They shouldn't have been in the way because they weren't in the driveway, but just with how difficult of a back-in it was, we were trying to dodge those rocks as well. I don't remember what exactly BC Park says is like the maximum trailer that you can fit in this campsite, but we were definitely below it. We didn't book anything that was above our length. We were a 30-foot trailer from bumper to tip, and yeah, like 50 feet in total. So it was a challenge getting in here. It took us quite a while. And actually, we ran out of battery on the camera before we could finish backing in. So you don't even get to finally see us succeed. And I mean, not that it should really matter, but of course it does. To make things worse, our neighbors were like in complete eyesight of us and watching us the entire time, just sitting there. It was, I mean, I tried to ignore them as much as possible and just like focus on backing in, but it's hard, you know? It's hard when you're making mistakes, you feel like an idiot, it's a difficult back in, and there's people watching you. Not so fun.
So, a bit of a hard time there getting actually settled into this spot. Backing in, the road was so tight that when we were swinging, the nose was either swinging up onto the side on the driver's side, or we were going over rocks and getting near the ditch on the passenger side, but we managed to eventually kind of curl our way in here. But probably the hardest parking spot we've had to back into yet with the new trailer here. Luckily we did in fact manage it. It was also a super steep hill, so when we got down here, the trailer being flat, the truck being on the hill, our hitch was sitting like maybe 5 inches off from the ground. It looked horrible on the truck, but I managed to get the tongue jack all worked out at least there. And then while I was setting up, Alysha and Chloe were inside and Chloe was running around. Chloe fell and she took her biggest spill yet learning to walk. Bonked her nose really bad, had a big line indent where it was, and it swole so bad. We were so nervous about it. Luckily she did okay. We managed to get her to calm down and the swelling went down, but that was pretty wild. And now she's bruised. So this is like the first time Chloe's even really been injured at all, let alone a big spill. So that was pretty wild. And then when we were getting Chloe all rinsed off and washed off, we were gonna let her play in the bath because she enjoys the splash there. So we got her in the bath and she pooped in the bath on us. So that was also on top of everything pretty wild because she's only done that when she was like right a newborn. Otherwise that's never happened. So we took the night easy. We went in the beach. This spot has been phenomenal, Lisa. As you can see, that is literally wooden stairs they put in each of these lakefront campsites down to the waterfront there. Our neighbors have like a 10 stair and handrail down. So thankfully, Loveland Bay Provincial Park here has been probably the nicest BC provincial park we've seen in terms of lake access and everything. We've seen a lot of nice ones, but I mean, your own private spot right there. Since we settled in and really wanted to kick back and relax after kind of a rougher start, we've got the paddleboard blown up. We're gonna get a whole lot of enjoyment out of this site here, and it feels like you're at like a beach house vacation. It's been so nice here. These pads are even nice and leveled, flat. I think it's like pretty much perfectly level once you get off the hill. You'd think you're at like a private RV park getting this kind of experience. No utilities or hookups, of course, but just amazing camping here. Been so lucky having this site during this heat wave we're having right now too though. We've been like 33 degrees Celsius or so right now, which I believe is like low to mid 90s. Super hot, not having any AC or anything like that. Luckily we've been able to jump into the lake right behind us here because that temperature continues like right until at least 9 p.m. If not even, we're going to bed at 10 o'clock. We've had it where it's been like 30 degrees Celsius inside the RV because it cools off quicker outside when the sun goes down. But the RV builds up all day, and then there's not enough air circulation to get through the RV, so it's been so hot inside. We've been staying up later than we normally would just so it cools down a bit more, but we're going to bed at like, say 80 degrees Fahrenheit, even at like 11 p.m. at night inside the RV. It's been the last night. So, taking advantage of the lake, and we'll see if it cools off at least a little bit more in the evenings coming up here.
Okay, I got dinner prepared inside, but it's so hot. I'm gonna get the grill preheating here, and we're gonna go jump in the lake quickly before I make dinner, and then we'll be nice and cooled off for when dinner's ready. The sun is starting to go down here and the colors on the lake are looking beautiful. There's like blues and pinks and it looks like it's gonna be a really nice night. So I'm gonna try and take out the paddleboard, and I'm also gonna try and put the GoPro on there. It has a GoPro mount, so I'm gonna see if it turns out nice with all the colors and stuff. So let's get going. Okay, it's like pretty windy out here, getting a little chilly, but I hope you can hear me. I just came out to this little island out here. How cool. Man. Words can't even really describe how awesome this campground is in this area. I mean, yeah, we did have a really stressful time backing our trailer in. I mean, not gonna lie, it was difficult. We're not exactly like professional trailer drivers or guider inners or anything like that. And we kept our cool, which is important, but it just was a really difficult spot to get into with how narrow the road was, how steep the driveway was coming in. Like we almost bottomed out in the trailer, and then just how like just tight of a site it was in general. So yeah, luckily we did get in. There was a moment there when I was like, I don't even think we're gonna like pull this off. Like, are we really gonna get this in here and like really not damage anything? That was my main concern. But yeah, we dodged all the rocks and everything ended up working out. So that ended up working out. But then, like Luke told you, Chloe had a big spill and she really hurt her face pretty bad. It's swollen up and the swelling is going down, just like in between her nose here, or in between her eyes, I mean, and she's got a little bruise. So definitely I was like so devastated after that happened, obviously. You know, my first kid and her first like big injury, not even that big, honestly. Like, she's perfectly fine, her nose is fine, everything's good, but it's just like nobody likes to have that happen. And just on top of like right after we had finished backing in, then that was stressful. Like, that happens and you're like, I don't even know what to do in this situation, but you know, you get through it. We took the night off from filming anything because we were just, you know, wanting to relax and enjoy the spot because it is so beautiful and we didn't want to keep adding more stress on top of that. But I am really glad that everything is starting to work out. It's just like seriously so beautiful here. I really can't even describe it. Like, I'm trying, but I'm sure you get the gist. I mean, the lake is perfect. We're on the lake. The weather's perfect. I don't know what more you could ask for, honestly. But anyways, that's enough rambling from me tonight. We're going to be picking up the next video and just enjoying the campsite, doing some fun stuff, playing in the lake, and yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed our little back-end fail. It wasn't really a fail in the end though, so I didn't even know what to call this video. But hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Bye! Oh yeah, and hopefully I can get home back safely. Way over there. And not fall in the lake.